no built in anything to be like, well, nah, well, you should have did this. You got to do this. Like, you should be sweaty, muddy, you know what I'm saying, emotion driven, exhausted. Like, you should be.
We look at ourselves a certain type of way
Like,
if
you
we
should
not
be
doing
this.
certain things.
Yeah. It's like, you should be this. Like, okay. But just keep that same energy, you feel me? Welcome y'all to another episode of the Presidential Executive. What's going on? It's your boy right here, JB. This is my brother over here, El Presidente Rag. What's going on, my brother?
Man, what it do? What it do?
Man, you know, God is good even when it don't feel like it. You feel me?
Man, yeah, no, definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
For real. You know what I mean? But y'all can catch us wherever you stream your podcast. You know, we're on Apple Podcasts, Google, YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and Stitcher. Man, so
All right, you know what? I know before we get started, man, I just want to. I made a thing I put on social media the other day where I was just like, check on your strong friends, the people that you think got it going on.
I was just about to say something about that, but yeah.
Man, I just want to, man, from us to you, man, sending our love out to G-Dub, timing.
No doubt, I saw that. Yep, I saw that.
Definite brother. Man, I don't. We can only empathize to some degree. Other thing, I know, JB is able to sympathize to some degree to some things that you've been dealing with, man. But we just want you to know, man, we love you. We're here for you. For those of you all who watch us, and y'all know G-Dub, God's warrior, Timon Clark. If you know him, you know what I'm saying. Pray for him. If you got within your power to do good for him and whatever he may need, you know what I'm saying, do that. Man, he's somebody, a very loving brother, a very committed brother. If you told him you needed prayer, like he would stop what he was doing and pray with you right on the spot. He's somebody who holds you accountable, and so when I see, my brethren go through something, my heart goes out to them, and so he's definitely in our thoughts and our prayers. Man, and we with you, whatever, I know you have probably thought and prayed about the decision that, he made. But, regardless, we're going to love you regardless, and we're here for you, man. And so, again, check on your strong friends. Check on people that you think they got it all together, like they don't never have a bad day.
Man, what you saying?
You have no idea. Sometimes the strongest people go through the most shit. So, it's good to vent. It's good to be able to talk. Hell, we was having our own before we. That's why
we're a little later than
we
coming
late
on
started because we was just rapping about some things in life, man, and we go through. So before we started, I just wanted to put that out.
Perfect, bro. Perfect. Because I was just about to mention, I think I don't know if you saw commented on that, John. I said, "Preach, sir." You know what I'm saying? Because you was, you was in your bag in that, man, and it's good that you mentioned GW because I just read his post probably about an hour and a half ago or so. And, and actually he does go to Divine when he goes sometimes. So I've seen him a few times, you know what I'm saying? And you can tell someone was really heavy on him. And he already articulated that a few times to other people that we knew. And, you know what I'm saying, we kind of got the word from, through that. But everything Rag said, you know what I'm saying, I told you on the post, like, it's on to the next season. You know what I'm saying? Your impact in music has definitely been felt. You know what I'm saying? And Rag, being an artist, it's not too many artists he messed with, especially in the younger generation. So I know y'all had a record together, at least one that I know of. You know what I'm saying? So your artistry, your attention to detail, your voice. You know what I'm saying? Everything and beat making too. You know what I'm saying? You was really hard on the beats too, like the production part too. So hopefully maybe you still continue to do that at least. You know what I'm saying? But whatever you want to do. But as Rag said, we're here. We're overdue for you to even come on the show. You feel me? Just have a little rap session or whatnot. Talk about whatever. Like we're kindred as far as having our dads pass. You know, within the last 4 or 5 years. And my dad passed in 2020. I think your dad passed in a few years ago, 3 years ago or so.
2021, I think.
2021, 2022.
2022,
So I get it, bro. It's days. You know what I'm saying? I may wear it different. You feel me? But it's it's days I be crying, bro, and just don't. You just don't know. I be in the gym or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. But as you would say, Rag, we look, man. We're not the kind to sit there and sulk. You know what I'm saying? We're both in situations right now that we didn't expect, unforeseen stuff. But look, we gonna keep it pushing. We got mouths to feed. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, and look, don't stop doing whatever your vocation is, your craft, something that you feel called to do. Don't stop doing that. Don't allow life to make you stop. If you stop because you feel like you ran the race and you reached the finish line for whatever that is, then fine, I can rock with that. But if it's getting too difficult, if it's getting too hard, if it's getting too much, like that's when you got to grind harder. That's where, like, and again, if he's prayed about that and that's where he is, I respect that.
Yeah.
But man, some of your best work.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like you got to remember, like that series where, when them folks came back and they was 72-10.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like the motivation was like, man, the pain of him losing his dad.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Then coming back thinking like I can come back and I'm still, after all that time, I'm still that guy. And so like all of that was and if anybody is the example of you allowing life and situations to where you take it personal, like look at the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? Like he took everything. Everything was fuel, and that fueled the greatness, though.
And that's what you mentioned that about MJ. I remember I don't know. Yeah, it was a documentary. He mentioned that he never wanted to play basketball again because he was at peace that his dad saw his last game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's where he was at that point. You know what I mean? So, given even with GW, like everybody's has that, space to, switch their mind, change their mind or whatnot.
Yeah.
But, people are where they are at the, whatever the time that is. Right. And so everybody have that right. He has that right. So, to your point, like, man, like it can get grimy out here, man.
I remember when MKJ was like, man, he couldn't see himself rapping at 30. Now look at him.
Oh, he said
that? What I'm saying? Like when he was
younger.
Yeah, when we young and dumb, we always say stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then you realize when you get to that point, you're like, oh shit, I'm just now getting in my bag.
Right.
Like it's certain things in life that now I can talk about that I couldn't talk about at 18 or at 25 or even at 27.
Mm-hmm.
And so I mean, for him, like I said, I think that some of his best stuff is gonna come from this if he still, finds it to do, and sometimes write about that. You know what I'm saying? Write about that pain. Write about the disappointment. Write about the people walking out of your life. Write about that's when you and again
those be some dope records.
You know what I'm saying? But I think that a lot of people of the faith get it twisted. Like, And we mess up because the scripture is not just the Torah. It's not just the Old Testament. It's not just the New Testament. It is an entire book of rules, of expectations, of grace, of love. Like you see grace in the Old Testament. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? What when he told I'm gonna spare when Abraham was like, if it's one righteous person, and he said, you know what, I'll spare that one righteous person. Mm-hmm. That was grace.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like that, but in the Old Testament, in Genesis. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like again, when them folks was naked, he said, you know what, y'all didn't cover yourselves up right. Let me cover y'all up properly. And said he made some clothes for them. That was grace. Mm-hmm. We don't look at it like that. But when you go back and look, it's all throughout the scripture. And so, like, when you look at, man, if you read some of them Psalms where David is crying, talking about And that man went through everything from the son dying to him having the STD.
Yeah.
Like, he talk about all that stuff. You got to go through and read
Psalms is David's journal,
Right.
bro. Going through
Exactly.
his pain, his struggles, his emotions, and then Ecclesiastes is Solomon's kind of book
Right.
to go through his what he's saying, his emotions and everything.
And then really you read, like, if you read Ecclesiastes, for the most part, most of it's depressing. Because he basically said, man, all this stuff amount to nothing. I've had
Useless.
everything.
Waste.
I've got he said it's like, man, trying to chase the wind, trying to catch the wind.
Yep.
And so, like, man, when you going through the most stuff, that's when some of your best work comes out. And
Definitely.
like I said, I would be interested in hearing it, and it don't have to be just because you're talking about your pain. It don't have to be negative. You know what I'm saying? Like it can be because somebody else can hear that, and it's like, man, if he going through that, but he can come out on the other side.
Yep.
I ain't even going through all what he going through.
Yeah.
And so if he was able to, like I told Fro when he was on here, man, that record he had, the Jenny Joint, like, man, that was, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
He
said
real
the same
live
thing.
was going through his pain.
At that point in time, the
you know what I'm
divorce
saying?
and all,
Right.
yep,
And it wasn't anything positive, like,
yeah.
but the blessing was to hear how committed he was to trying to work through the process of it. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, man, that was a giant, man, I have it in my playlist, and it would completely disrupt the flow of the playlist, but it was one, you know, that it you know, it ministers to me. So like I said, I just hope and I pray that if that's the decision, that's just because, you know, you feel like the season is done, but not because I didn't hear that my season's done. I heard that it's getting hard for me to do what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's hard for me to be in these churches and doing that. That's what I heard. I didn't hear I lost my gift.
Right.
Because the gifts are without repentance.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so you going to have a gift. The gift ain't going nowhere.
Yep.
So, like, but what I heard is it's hard for me to be
Passionate.
this clergy person. You know what I'm saying? But, like, you don't necessarily have to be behind a quote-unquote pulpit. Like,
No,
you know, you could be at the job. You could be on the street corner. You could be Ubering. You know what I'm saying? Like, with that's wherever you at is your pulpit. And so, like, I feel like, and I know we went kind of long with that, but, man, you know, like I said, we just, man, love to our brother, man. We here for you.
Yeah, no doubt. Salute to I got G-Dub, man. Yeah, I like that, man. That was needed. That was needed definitely with that. Let's see kind of where we want to start here. We can kind of start kind of where we left off, where we started, I guess, the last time, which it's a new superintendent with the with the MSCS. You know, Roderick Richmond, right? And he's the superintendent now. I guess they called him an interim until they potentially be on another search or whatever to get another one.
Man, that man looked like one of the missing members from Morris Day in the Time.
Man, I was about to say he looked like
the face he made in the meeting was like the Ike Turner meme.
Yeah, what and that's what I wanted to talk
Don't
about.
play with me.
That's what I wanted to talk about. Like, I can't even front, man. I don't know the dude. Clearly, I think he's a capo.
That man is zestier than the soap.
For real?
The way he told the lady not to play with him, I mean, and I'm fine. Like, if that's what you do, I'm just saying.
Okay,
like,
no.
That was extremely zesty.
Yeah. It was weird.
That was nasty work.
Yeah, it was definitely weird.
In the word, diabolical.
Diabolical. Yeah, that is true. Like, when it comes to stuff like this, these type of positions, I think, especially the way it happened with Dr. Fegans, first impressions are important. First impressions are everything, especially within in this, because it shows what you're made of in pressure, tense situations, right? And so when he said what he said, don't play with me. Don't play with me. You know, shaking his head and looking real tense, his face all bubbling up, looked like eyes was twitching a little bit. You know, like I said, I don't know the guy, but looking at his resume, it looked like he is qualified as far as credentials, resume, you know, experience and time and all that stuff. But for me, I mean, like I said, hopefully well, but I don't think any of this is going to matter anyway because the state about to take over. You know what I'm saying? The state already said they're about to take over. So I just, you know, and I don't know if you saw Unapologetically Memphis. he put out all the board members' resume. You know what I'm saying, over the last week or so.
Yeah.
And actually, I made a point on this on his post, and the majority of them, well, not the majority, all of them except the two that were going for Dr. Fegans, all weren't qualified as far as their credentials and resume and experience, like to the highest degree. You know what I'm saying? Just because of the position that is, the type of influence that comes with being on the board and all that stuff. Those members respectfully, they didn't have the experience or qualified. And I brought up, I was like, it's not a direct correlation of DEI. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, I think that this is like an example of, people kind of getting in positions that they don't have the necessarily merit or
but
qualifications.
See, the thing with that is, though, the only reason why they have those,
but they got voted in,
is they got voted in.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like the reason why they didn't have a superintendent is because they were doing a search. They were trying to find somebody qualified, but the board members were voted
in.
So now that, that could be a popularity contest.
Yeah.
That can be like, if I come from money and I got enough to have a campaign and billboards and flyers out and everything like that. That is not based on merit. That's based on availability. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So now I do understand. And that's a whole nother bag of worms, so I ain't gonna go down that rabbit hole at the moment. But a lot of those board members, though, they were voted in, and those were the only options that were available. You know what I'm saying? So when you tell people to take the red pill or the blue pill, they're gonna take something,
right?
And that's what it was.
And that was one of the things I was talking about last week. I think. This, you try to look at the bright side of all this, this type of situation. You just look at it now, because I don't think people gave care at all about the board members voting wise. It's just like, it's going to be what it's going to be. Like you said, it's a popularity contest. One of the ladies been in Orange Mound for 40 years, so I'm sure she got that whole community out there to vote for her, to, you know what I'm saying? Because, okay, we know Miss So-and-so, da-da-da-da, so I think now more people are going to pay more attention to this stuff, and we'll just kind of see how it is when it comes along. But as far as when it comes to Superintendent Richmond, like I said, for me, like I said, wish him well. But to me, first impressions, especially in positions like that of power, means a lot. And at that time when he said what he said during that meeting, it's like he didn't read the room. You know what I'm saying? And to where
Carlton Pearson need to chill out.
Carlton. Oh, he do look like he do look like a young Carlton Pearson, boy. Revival Carlton Pearson at that.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? But
TBN Carlton Pearson.
TBN. So, and I know he's come out on a couple press conferences and apologized and gather your words. And actually, I made a post about this today, and it was kind of relating to that, because it's like anybody can gather their thoughts and words and articulate themselves, to do that. But we really don't know. Like, even the situation we're talking about, we're going through or being, like, we gonna know really what we made of, going through certain situations in the moment. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can have time. It's all good when everything's flowing good. But, we'll really understand, the fiber and stuff that we're made of when we go through these type of situations that can be hurtful, uncomfortable, you know what I mean? So Richmond, like I said, his resume is top notch as far as his being around, and I think he went to TSU. He went to TSU back in the day, you know what I'm saying? So he's a TSU grad. You know what I'm saying? So I did, obviously you salute to that on that. Right. Salute to that on that. He did what it is. But for me, the first impression wasn't that good. And two, like, when you look at this whole situation with the Shelby County school system, I can't put it past them that, they knew this was about to happen, right? This, the whole narrative, like, oh, I'm so surprised. I didn't have any idea that I was about to be, you know what I'm saying, called as an interim and all this stuff. Like, nah, you probably did, you know what I mean? So, the element of surprise and stuff that he wants the public to kind of, catch on to, I'm not necessarily buying, but I'm interested to see, kind of what the state is going to do, and whatever it is, Memphis is going to deserve whatever it is. It's just like people talking about people celebrating the state coming in, but no, I think most people are celebrating what Malcolm X said back in the day: the chickens coming home to roost. You know what I'm saying? Like we put this on ourselves. You know what I mean? Or the board put that on themselves. If they were actually listening to the public, it would have been a totally different situation. So, yeah.
I mean, like I said, all I'm saying is my guy look like Bill from Willie Dynamite.
Ooh, I ain't seen that picture. Yeah, he do look like that.
He look like Bill from Willie Dynamite.
Yeah.
We've got to collectivize, Willie.
He definitely looked like that.
That's what I'm saying. That was the face he made when he was telling the old girl not to play. No,
and he kind of talked like that too.
This the face he made when he was telling the lady not to play.
Ooh, he did. You need to share that. That need to be a meme right there.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's him.
That need to be a meme right there.
The Shakespearean pimp debate.
Yeah, he definitely look like that.
Hey, y'all, go look up Willie Dynamite. Go look up the character Bell, Bell from Willie Dynamite. That's what the new interim superintendent look like.
Exactly.
We mess with you, Dr. Fegans. We still, you know what I'm saying? We still in support of you. If you got to sue them, get your money.
Yeah, she gonna get that money.
Because you came, highly recommended. You came and you embraced our city. You embraced our children.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's rare when you have somebody who is not from here but comes in and is all the way in. And we need that, from whoever, the person is. And, we're grateful. We're thankful. Because, we've got kids in the school system. So, we were products of the school system.
No doubt.
And so we need for it to be great. And you represent greatness, and we are grateful and thankful for you. And again, we stand by you and behind you. All right, what else we got?
Yeah. And she's still posting on social media. I don't know. I've been seeing her stories. She's still, live and into the city.
I did reach out.
Okay.
She did like the message. She didn't respond.
That's cool.
But she hearted the message, and I was like, okay, well, at least you read it. Yeah, that means you read it. So
she'll respond later.
Yeah, hopefully, we can get Dr. Fegans on.
Yeah. That would be lovely.
And not even just just to get her whole story, just about who she is and where she comes from and how she was brought up. I think that would definitely be a benefit for people to see, because they see that side, but just to see, your struggles, your ups and downs and everything, I think that would be dope too.
Yep, it would be. It really would be. I'm not gonna go to sports just yet. Well, we could do that. We could, because the rest of that stuff kind of. Now, my Cowboys. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a little quickie, real quick. Hired a coach.
He comes from good pedigree.
Mm-hmm.
He comes from good pedigree.
His dad, his dad was cool.
He come from good pedigree, just like Kyle Shanahan.
His dad was cool.
He come or
Marty Schottenheimer,
or like the Ryan boys, like Rex Ryan and Rob Ryan. Like their dad was Buddy Ryan. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
you come from that pedigree. Kyle Shanahan come from Mike Shanahan.
Yeah,
Brian Schottenheimer come from Marty Schottenheimer.
Again, it was a letdown for me, just because it's just like, you keep teasing me, you know what I'm saying? And then now you got Dion, you got these other stuff, and then now you put Shotty out there. And so he's been a lifelong assistant. He's been assistant for like 15 plus years. He's been fired pretty much in most stops he's been, you know what I mean? He didn't call plays for us, so it's interesting. Like I said, it's not the hire. I said I wanted to go all in on Dion. I said that. Right, so I didn't care. I was willing to go with the risk.
Stephen Jones would go all in on Dion.
Maybe.
No, I believe Jerry's son got more sense than he do.
Yeah.
I don't believe that
he got more sense.
he has to be the one. And again, Jerry got to be the one in the press conferences. He got to be the one. You got to be the star of the show. And nobody cares. You know what I'm saying? And you could be looked at like a Robert Kraft, like a beloved owner.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you just chill the fuck back and write the checks and smile and wave, and when they hand you the Lombardi trophy, you say what you got to say. Why is Robert Kraft beloved? Because the only thing we know about Robert Kraft is
staying his role.
After his wife died, that man like escorts. And what did I say? You put it. You made a reel of it. Get you an escort. That's the safest way to go. That's it's legal. You know what I'm saying? That's their job. You won't be in no Diddy Frico situation.
Yeah.
That's the only thing we know about Robert Kraft. He like escorts. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all.
And I would just say this about Shadi. I'm disappointed as far as a Cowboy fan because of it's just not a sexy hire. I don't know too much about him. I heard him in the press conference. He sound like a cool guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sound like a cool guy. Again, he come from good stock. From Marty Schottenheimer. I think he passed back in 2021. And grew up around the game. So hopefully, he got to say all the stuff that he said. Dak is the quarterback we're gonna win championships with. I get it. You got to say it.
Like the thing with who to me that is a classic Jerry hire. Mm-hmm. When he hired Jason Garrett, what was Jason Garrett? A lifelong assistant. He was somebody who wasn't gonna ruffle
QB
anything.
coach,
and he
QB
was like
coach.
a backup. He was one of Aikman's backup.
Yeah, he was
like
backup.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but he was not gonna ruffle no feathers. He was going yes man Jerry. And he got how many years was he out coach? Like
talking about Shadi?
No. Garrett.
7, 8 years.
Yeah. I'm gonna say at least 8. So like I said, he parlayed that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't even know what he's doing anymore.
Yeah, he on NBC with
right.
the pregame
But you see what I'm
stuff.
saying?
Yeah.
But he parlayed that into he's good.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like the people who don't work, Bill Parcells did not work. Why? Because Jerry not finna. You gotta let me do the football shit, and you need to step the fuck back.
Yeah.
And now you talk about first ballot Hall of Famer. He's in anybody's should be in anybody's top 5 coaches of all time. He was like, I got the role. You know what I'm saying? And so now here it is, Deion, big personality, knows the game, high football IQ, genius when it comes to the football stuff. But you got to let prime be prime.
Yeah.
And then if it becomes a dick measuring contest, and then so now you're the billionaire, you're the owner of a team, like that ain't gonna work. And while again, Deion gonna get his money, Deion about the bag and everything like that, Deion got a limit.
Yeah.
And there's certain stuff you ain't gonna be able to say to Deion or do to Deion, and he don't have no problem taking his ball and going home. Mm-hmm. And it's like I don't know if you saw the story he did where when he was playing, when he signed. Not the Commanders, when they was the Redskins. When he was playing, he told the owner that he needed to. It was a black. I don't know if he was like a defensive coordinator. He was something, but he became the interim coach before the end of the season. They end up like kind of having a winning record at the end of the season, and so like he was like, you need to look at him. You need to seriously consider him, because if not, I'm walking. I will never play for you again. And, you're going to pay me the rest of my money and I'm walking. He said, like, the dude didn't even get the interview. He didn't even get the interview for the job. He hired somebody else. And he said, as soon as that press conference was over, his phone was ringing. Deion called the owner, Snyder, and was like, he said, you got a pen? He said, write this down. And he gave him a number. He was like, that's my account number. He said, I need you to wire me my $21 million. I'm never playing for you again. Because that's what he owed him for the contract.
Right.
And I mean, he literally gave him his account number. He's like, you can go on, send me my money to my account. Because I already told you what it was. And so, like I said, Jerry, he kind of got that billionaire mentality, like, oh, okay, well, y'all gonna do what I want.
There ain't no kinda.
And
he got that billionaire mentality for sure.
Dion has a limit.
Yeah, it's not the time.
And think about he could have hired Rex Ryan. But he ain't gonna be able to do that over Rex Ryan. He could have hired Belichick.
Mm-hmm.
Belichick really ain't got time for it. Now he's one. He don't care about Jerry being in the media because Bill don't really talk to the media. But he got to handle the football shit, and Jerry ain't gonna like that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So like everybody worth their salt that you could have got, you're not gonna hire because either you got to let them handle the football shit or their personality too big. So like Dion and Rex, their personality's too big. Belichick, he got to handle all the football shit. So you're gonna hire somebody who ain't gonna ruffle no feathers. He gonna yes man. He just trying to get his foot in the door, and hopefully he do like what McCarthy did. If he can get him 3 or 4, 12 and whatever seasons,
yeah,
he can parlay that into another job.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not particularly fond of it, but I get it. It makes sense. He's cheaper. You got the leverage over him, so you give him a 4-year deal. Nobody else was checking for him, so that's part of the contract negotiation. So you can lowball him with $2 million a year. He'll have to deal with it because he had no other suitors, to kind of get it. So I get it. Obviously, I hope everything I'm saying as far as didn't like him to hire, he proved me wrong with that. He's going to have players to deal with it.
18 games, I think. So, if it's not next season, it's the season after next.
They already do 18 games.
No, it's 17.
Well, they got 18 weeks.
Right.
But
yeah, because of the bye week stuff, yeah, but everybody plays 7. But now it's going to be 18 games.
Interesting.
So, I mean, what I'm saying, but if he goes 12-6 or 13-5, and they make the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, Jerry.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, now Jerry can fire him or whatever, or he can. But when they look at his record, and it's like, oh, he went, whatever. And that's all he trying to do. This is just an entry level, and that's sad because y'all are still the most lucrative franchise in the league. But a lot of coaches are using that as like an entry level. This is just the boast on my resume.
He's a Cowboy coach, and that's what he always gonna end up being now. So now they can always say on his resume, okay, I'll give him a shot because Jerry gave him a shot.
Well, not only that, but like I said, if he do like McCarthy did, because it wasn't just it was just Aaron Rodgers. Like now he had like 3 seasons straight where he won 12 games. So like clearly it wasn't just Aaron Rodgers. Mm-hmm. It's like he might actually know how to coach football a little bit.
Yeah.
So like again, and I want to say, is he going to Chicago or
who's that?
McCarthy.
We don't know yet.
No. He's
not going to Chicago. Got Ben Johnson.
Oh, from
Detroit. They already stacked with that. I don't know where McCarthy gonna go. He may go to the Saints. The Saints still need a coach right now, so who knows? He may try to go there. But again, who knows about us? The Cowboys is just the same old. So we're not expecting much. But again, if Dak comes back, Dak is still a good quarterback. So he can get you 11, 12 wins in a season if he's healthy. So,
I mean, I'm not going to lie.
Whatever.
Another quickie for you. When Toronto played, they recently played, they had, I want to say a back-to-back where they played one game, they played the Bulls, the other game they played the Hornets. Mm-hmm. And it's like, Toronto's like upcoming star's name is Grady Dick.
Yeah, the white boy.
And then he got to play versus 2 balls. If I was a commentator, I would have had a blast with that.
Yeah.
I would have had a blast with that. Because, I just saw that on Instagram. Somebody like, Dick versus balls. I'm like,
yeah.
And they had, like, him in the middle. They had Lonzo on one side, LaMelo on the other side. I was like, clever. I got it.
That's crazy. Yeah, I saw that too.
Did you have this on here? I don't know if you wanted to quickie this or not, but did you see what the ruckus was on social media this morning? About a local radio personality / pastor?
Yeah, I thought I had it, but I don't know the context of the story.
Ain't no context. He's on video slobbing up a dildo.
I didn't know.
It ain't no context for that. You can't pause that. See, and that's what I'm saying. When something really is that, ain't no need to pause because it's clearly that.
Okay, hold on. Let me get this straight. So that is Matthew.
He's on video.
He's on video.
Doing the Juicy J song.
By himself?
Like corn on the cob.
Yikes. Okay, I didn't know why he was going viral, but I just saw everybody talking about him.
Yeah.
And stuff, so I didn't know.
Man, I heard somebody made a post that said, I ain't never seen nobody. He said, I ain't never seen a preacher, a pastor perform an exorcism on a dick before.
Wow.
I saw somebody else posted that was like, he's going on an all nut diet. And initially when I saw him, I'm like, okay, he was heavy set. I'm like, okay, you know what? You know, legumes are cool because peanuts are not a nut. They're actually legumes. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you know, I can see you eating almonds and, you know what I'm saying, walnuts and stuff like that. It's like, oh, that ain't what y'all talking about.
No.
And it's like as much talking as you do about people and bad mouthing people, you got a whole video where you going gator on a wee-wee. Good job.
Yeah, that's correct. No, actually, I thought you was going to bring it up. 'Cause I was like, I'm sure Rag know the skinny about this. Because I didn't, usually I read comments when I see people sharing it and do all, I'm like, what this dude done did now? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm glad I didn't hit it because I did not want to know or see. But I mean, are we surprised?
I mean,
you know
it's like, man, after the stuff with Diddy and all of these celebrities with allegations, it's nothing that surprised. What did surprise me was Carl Winslow, original Vell Johnson, commented on the Dave Chappelle joke about, you know, how Chappelle was like, how he wasn't invited to a Diddy party and Carl Winslow was.
Okay.
And he said, now look, I ain't never been to no Diddy party. I don't know Diddy. I've never met him. He said, I don't know where that rumor came up. He said, like, I've never been around him or anything like that. But he said, I hate that was the manner in which I was brought up. But he said, man, Dave made it funny. He said, I laughed. I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
And that, people, is how you take a fucking joke.
Yep.
Cause most of us now in 2025 would be insulted. My feelings would be hurt.
Yeah.
Oh, he said that I'm canceling him. How dare he say my name? Like, he was like, in the context of the joke, he was like, it was funny. I laughed. Yeah. He said the only thing I hate is that I'm associated with this, you know, rumor. You know what I'm saying? And I've never met Diddy. I don't know him. We ain't never kicked it. He was like, but as far as the joke go, he said, man, Dave is a great comedian. He said, and I laughed. He said it was funny.
Yeah, but he like from the old cloth too.
Right.
So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people can learn a lot from that, man. They can definitely learn a lot from that. Any other quickie that you had real quick?
I mean, no, like I said, I mean that's, and I'm pretty sure we might talk about it.
We're gonna dive in.
Another week or whatever. But like that is Matthew's situation is very. It's in a word, diabolical, extremely. You know what I'm saying? The treachery that was taking place in that video, it was very fiendish.
Yeah.
And all I will say, and I saw a lot of people saying like, "Oh, karma coming back." It's just like when he's made a habit and a history of quote unquote exposing people, and I'm gonna post this video and I'm gonna post this recording of you. And then a video comes out of you doing something in whatever the context, like, okay, you might have been playing a joke. I don't know. But
you don't play like that.
Yeah.
You don't play like that.
Yeah.
You don't play like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was horrendous.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, said video exists. If I know I'm on tape doing some dumb shit, I'm not finna be critical of people who do similar dumb shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if I know I'm cross-dressing, the only thing you're going to hear me criticizing is people that's stealing from Wall Street. You ain't going to hear me talk about nobody doing no cross, or doing something where they living a hidden life or whatever, and it's a whole video of me being a cross-dresser. No, I'm finna talk, nigga. I'm finna talk about algebra too. That's what I'm finna talk about. Yeah, cause so when it come back up and somebody like, oh,
But you talked about, you said this, but
right,
you did
it's
the
like, nah,
same.
look, that ain't got nothing to do with a math problem. I was on my personal time when I was doing it. Like, I mean, and so he's made I want to say a history, but he's made a career out of quote unquote exposing people, putting people on blast, posting videos, posting conversations, showing text messages, and then now, and you don't have no defense for it. It is no excuse for that.
What can you say?
Unless you actually like it.
What can you? Yeah.
But again, in your pulpit, you've condemned stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
because it was popular. All right, so now we know who the Super Bowl is going to be. It's going to be the Chiefs and the Eagles in the Super Bowl in New Orleans. I got to go for the Chiefs. Corey Boone is, he's a Philly fan. He was all on social media. He actually went to the game when they played the Commanders in the NFC Championship game on Sunday, out there tailgating, doing all that stuff. So I can't, in good conscience, go for the Eagles. Even though I respect Jalen, I respect Saquon, I got to go with the Chiefs, 3-peat. But I think it should be a good game. If anybody can probably beat the Chiefs, it can be the Eagles. But just like I was telling somebody else, if anybody going to beat the Chiefs, they're going to have to beat them by like 2 possessions. You're not going to beat them in a close game. If this back and forth, I scored, you scored, they up on you.
The refs can give it to them.
Yeah. So you're not going to beat them unless you get up 9+ points on them, and the Eagles are explosive enough to actually do that. So I give them a chance, but I'm not betting against the Chiefs.
Man, I don't care what nobody say. Somebody sold their soul to the devil. Look, no NFL team has won 3 in a row.
None ever.
The only team that has made it to multiple Super Bowls. Hey, we almost did.
Yeah. Well, hold on. Did y'all?
Yes. When y'all won back to back, when did y'all lose? Y'all lost in the NFC Championship. Correct. Y'all lost in the NFC Championship.
94.
And who did y'all lose in the NFC Championship?
We lost to y'all.
Exactly. But what I'm saying is, so now again, we won back to back. And again, y'all lost to the winner of the Super Bowl, right? Because we blew San Diego out. And it was assumed, basically, whoever won from the NFC was winning the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, definitely back in the day, right. That's what it was.
When we went back to back, we went back to back, and then we lost to the Giants. The Giants, when they had Lawrence Taylor, and I believe it was Phil Simms was quarterback, the Giants ended up winning the Super Bowl. And we lost. We had the ball. We was up. And Roger Craig got hit and fumbled the ball. And the Giants recovered, and then they go down and score. And that was how they went up. But no NFL team has won 3 in a row. You barely find teams that win back-to-back. You got the 49ers, you got the Cowboys, you got the Patriots, have the Steelers back in the 70s might have won a back-to-back.
Maybe
Miami in the early 70s, the Dolphins when they won back-to-back.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. Yeah. I don't even think Green Bay won back-to-back when they first made the Super Bowl.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's difficult to go back-to-back. 3?
Mm-hmm.
And then you got to think about it. They've been in the last 5 Super Bowls.
Yeah. Yeah, they gon' look.
Well, not is it 5?
No, they ain't been to the last 5.
Okay, no, because they've
been to 5.
Won the last 2.
I think they've been to 5.
They won the last 2.
Not 5 straight though.
And then prior to them, who won the one?
Tampa Bay.
No. It wasn't Tampa Bay. Was it the Rams?
Rams won in 2020, 2021, whatever that was.
And they beat Cincinnati.
Yeah.
They beat the Bengals.
Yeah.
But I'm saying because the Chiefs have 3 Super Bowls, period.
Yeah, period, yeah.
And so what I'm saying is that they won one, then they wasn't in the Super Bowl, then they gone back to back.
Mm-hmm.
Because they beat Philly.
They beat Philly.
And they beat us.
And they beat 49ers, yeah.
and then then it was the Rams and the Bengals before that, and then I want to say it was the Chiefs and then us. They beat us again.
Yeah,
we had Garoppolo.
Yeah, they beat y'all twice. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just saying they've been in 4 of the last 5 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
The only other team to do that was the Bills in the early '90s, and they lost all 4.
Yeah. Now it's gonna. I think it's gonna be a good Super Bowl, but I'm going with my homie. You know what I mean? I'm going with Mahomes. Again, if you're going to beat the Chiefs, you're going to have to beat them by multiple possessions. There's no way you're going to beat them in a close game. I think they're in the NFL record now when they just beat the Bills. They're 17-0 in games in one possession over the last several years. You know what I'm saying? So this is proving that if you're going to beat them, you're going to have to get a cushion, and you're just going to have to just make it, known that, this is your day. But if you're going to be trying to go back and forth with them and, trying to, leaving it into the ref's hands and all this, it's not going to happen, bruh. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, anytime, now at this point in my life, anytime the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl, I'm just, with the combination of,
Those killing,
again, Mahomes is legit.
He is, bruh.
But with the 12th man that they have helping them out,
mm-hmm.
Oh, because I'm not gonna now again, he's legit, but like they've been bailed out by the refs like a lot.
Yeah. I think that's accurate. That's clear. But they're tough. They got that championship DNA. They know when to turn it on. You know what I'm saying? When it comes. Also, we can put another quick in. I don't know if you've seen the stuff about Tyreek Hill and him running out of Miami and crying and complaining and all that stuff like that. So it's kind of different now because he wanted to get out of Kansas City to get paid and go to Miami. But now he talking about, he can't live like this. He got to be somewhere, da-da-da-da. And so it's just kind of like he talking like out of both sides of his neck, because that's what he wanted to do. He the one that said Tua was better than my homie as far as being more accurate or something like that, right? You know what I mean? So I would love him on the Cowboys, obviously, but that's not going to have too much money to be spent. Right. But I think it's way different now, man, because I think some people, they don't account for winning, because winning can bring you money by itself, as far as endorsements, legacy, being a part of that city. You know what I'm saying? Like, can you imagine him being with Mahomes now? Him having him and Kelsey and whoever else they had on the other side, like it would literally be unfair, which is almost unfair now, but it would be pretty much unfair in how you match up with them because you can't. Then they got the run game. They got Hunt back there. They brought back Hunt. Mm-hmm. Hunt should have been there for the last couple Super Bowls because whatever situation he had, he took him on to Cleveland and a couple other places. But Hunt is back. He's hungry to get his first one.
Yeah.
So
he never got one with them? He went on that first team that won?
Nah, they got rid of him that season, didn't they?
No, I thought
they got rid of him.
When they beat us the first time, I thought Kareem Hunt was on that team. Now I might be wrong.
I'm gonna look it up, but I don't think so.
I thought they had him and then he was gone after that first one, and then Tyreek was gone after that year when Cincinnati made it to the Super Bowl.
Because they won their first one in 2019. They won their first one in 2019, and that's where he went to Cleveland. He was in Cleveland in 2019 because they got rid of him the year right before they won it, because he only played 11 games in 2018. So he was in Cleveland in 2019 when they won it. Mm-hmm. So he should have been a part of that team. He was part of the dynasty. It was him, Tyreek. It was like we knew there was about to be like a really good team for a long time, but Hunt never got his. And so you can only imagine how hungry he is now to get, to be back where he started, where he got drafted, to get a ring. And then they got Pacheco too.
Right.
He a good, like they stacked everywhere. Their defense is good, So I am kind of rooting for Hunt to kind of get his first one with KC, because it kind of like a redemption type situation.
Right, yeah. No, I mean, and again, like, I mean, I just I never bet against them now.
Nope.
Um, yeah.
Nah, I can't. You can't. You can't bet. I mean, you can bet against them, but at this point, you gonna have to blow the Chiefs out to do it. And the Eagles are explosive enough to do it. I at least say that they're explosive enough to rail off a couple touchdowns in 3 or 4 minutes.
And that's why you got to
So
make your opportunities. Because I'm not gonna lie, if Garoppolo completes that pass to Emmanuel Sanders, that changes his life. You know what I'm saying?
definitely.
But I mean, like when we played them, and I was telling everybody watching, I'm like, man, it's rigged. Like they're like, oh man, nah, y'all up. I said, man, the fix. And the whole night, I'm like, man, the fix is in.
Yeah.
The fix is in. Like, man, y'all up. I'm like, man, the fix is in. Like, mark my words. Then we won the coin toss. Man, we kicked that field goal. I said, oh, it was a minute and 34 seconds left. I said, the fix is in.
Yeah.
I said I would not, and I said I would not be surprised if they march down the field and they do some crazy at the end, and with seconds left, he throw like, come on, man,
Yeah.
you can't,
Yeah.
you can't script a better end than that,
Mm-hmm.
So like I just, it is what it is.
Yeah. I'm going for the thing. You said you having a party. You having a party, huh? You having a little party at the crib.
Mm-hmm.
BYOB, bring your own food too.
No. There's gonna be plenty of food now. Like just all I ask is just, either people drink beer, but it's not my less melanated friends probably drink more beer.
For sure. That's not my
So I
thing.
just say like bring some type of adult beverage. Don't have to be nothing major or anything like that. You ain't got to have no diabolical size.
Right.
But yeah. But what we got next?
Yeah. Next here, we kind of getting into some of we getting into. Like, I want to talk about the DEI stuff, right? Well, first, I just wanted your thoughts about the whole kind of DEI situation as far as some of the programs being off. Well, first, if people don't know, can you tell the people kind of what DEI is? Or, you know what I'm saying? Or do you want me to say that?
So, diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Correct.
The misnomer about it is that we were the main benefactors of it.
Yeah.
When they researched it and studied it, the people who benefited the most from DEI was Caucasian white women. But when it was talked about amongst the masses, it was always as if we were getting an unfair leg up. All DEI did for us and people who look like us is it allowed us to get in the room. And so now if my qualifications made it good enough, because now I'm in the room, you don't have no choice but to hire me because you see I've got this degree or I got this experience or I'm this qualified. Whereas prior to that, I couldn't even get in the room. And so somebody else, because they had the complexion for the protection for the collection, again, just like we talked about the school board stuff, this person ain't qualified to, you know what I'm saying, see if hamster vomit is warm or not. But they're getting it because they got the complexion for the protection. And I might have a master's or 2 masters or whatever. I can't even get in the room. So I wasn't getting an unfair advantage. Now, is it possible that sometimes somebody got on strictly because they was a woman or strictly because they were black or Asian or Indian or whatever? That's possible. But I will say more often than not, even if that's why they got on, that person had some type of qualification. It ain't like they just got somebody walking down the street, oh, you're black, apply for this job. You had to have some type of skill, some type of talent, some type of game in whatever type of field that was. So on the one hand, and we talked about like nepotism, like in some senses that can be like a nepotism type of thing. But on the other hand, I did like the idea that, and you know this from being a competitor, like like when you was playing tennis, like, man, let me in your stadium, let me in your arena.
Mm-hmm.
Just let me get in there. Just let me volley back and forth a couple of times, and you'll see if I got it.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a hooper, just let me get on the court. Just let me run up and down the court a couple of times. You'll see if I got it. Now, again, if you don't let me in, we can argue all day and night about it. But if you just let me get on there, just let me run a couple of laps, let me run up and down the court. Let me do the interview.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was the benefit for us because we knew. I mean, think about this. The only black man who was ever president was the best at damn near everything.
Yeah.
Lawyer, Harvard, Yale, top of his class. Like,
Communication.
you see what I'm saying? Like, I mean, again, now you got Jesse Jackson. He had charisma. He knew how to talk. But he wasn't Harvard and Yale.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only other legit candidate maybe that we had in the entire history of black people running was maybe Jesse Jackson and Shirley Chisholm before Barack Obama. And again, Barack was probably more qualified than any white president who's ever ran.
Yeah.
In terms of academia and
his credentials,
you know
resume, and all that stuff. Yeah, for sure. For
so,
sure.
but in order for somebody who looked like us to get it, he had to be top at everything.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so you can say, oh, that's a DEI. But for me, DEI, I still got to be at the best. The only thing DEI did was it let me get in the room. And that's what I didn't have a problem with that because I know this from jobs that I've worked. Again, just put me out there. Just put me up there with the best. Give me the same. You ain't even got to give me the same. Just let me in the building where they at.
So would you say something kind of like, kind of comparing to NFL, like the Rooney Rule, to a degree? Because if you look at the Rooney Rule is set up to, you got to give me a chance to get into your face, right? Mm-hmm. And so now you give me a chance, I can impress you, and then now I can, shut down maybe all the narratives of what you maybe thought this was going to be. And so now I'll wow you, and now you can maybe hire me, right? And so, but we know kind of the NFL has been like, okay, we'll bring you in so we can fill this quota
just
up.
To placate that.
Right.
Thing.
So would you, to me, it's kind of similar. I want to say they're exactly the same, but I think it was something kind of like the Rooney Rule from the NFL.
Again, I think that people did. I'm not gonna say it was like that, but I think a lot of companies, it's like, okay, because now we got to look at Asian, Indian, Black, women, Hispanic, whatever. Let me just interview a bunch of these people so I could say, well, I interviewed 20 Hispanic guys and 8 white women and 10 black guys and 7 black women and 14 Asians and but Philip over here, he was just the most qualified. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. And so again, DEI made it to where, okay, I'm gonna take these people and interview them. But again, I think that for us, we knew we had to be like you didn't have a nigga who was, you know what I'm saying, with the Windex and the squeegee at your car at the gas station or the light. All of a sudden, he the CEO of a Fortune 500 company.
Yeah,
like that person graduated at the top of their class at Brown or Cambridge or Yale or Stanford. Like, this is somebody who already had the goods anyway. It's just now you got to look at me. You got to give me that opportunity. And so now when you're comparing Tyrone, you know what I'm saying, with Bartholomew, it's like, man, I ain't gonna lie, nigga, Tyrone, he kind of amazing. Like Bart, he come from old money.
Yeah.
But Bart was a C student. You know what I'm saying? He just got a bachelor's degree. Man, Tyrone got 2 master's degrees, and he graduated, summa cum laude or magna cum laude, or you know what I'm saying? Like in my case, magna cum often. But I mean, it's like, okay, we're gonna go with this person who got the qualifications, but when they do it, it's like we're confident because look at the credentials. It's pros and cons to anything. I think the pro is that you're not necessarily giving somebody something, but it go the other way too though. So like you're not necessarily interviewing me because I'm black, but then on this hand, where you're gonna interview these people just because they white, but you know what I'm saying. And again, one of the worst presidents we've ever had got 2 terms off of nepotism. Anybody thinks that Bush Jr. was a good president is smoking some diabolical shit.
For sure.
Smoking cat shit.
Yeah.
That nigga said strategery. That's not a word.
Yeah.
He messed up everybody's name. And okay, I know Will Ferrell made fun. That was a Will Ferrell skit. But I'm just like, he would make up words. He clearly was not the sharpest tool in the drawer. He wasn't even sharp as a butter knife or a bread knife.
Mm-hmm.
But he got there because he had the complexion for the protection for the collection.
And I'm with you, like.
But what's the black equivalent of that?
Of what?
Because you would say, anybody would say, if you listen to Bush Jr. and Jesse Jackson talk, you would say Jesse Jackson got more sense than Bush Jr.
Mm-hmm.
But he couldn't get in over. Bush Jr. would mop the floor with Jesse Jackson. Al Sharpton, if you listen to him talk, you would say he got more sense than Bush Jr. Al Sharpton don't stand a chance against Bush Jr. Mm-hmm. So we had to get the best of the fuck. We had to get the Apollo Creed of black men.
Yeah.
We had to get the Rocky Balboa of black men to become president. And I would dare say, like, if you putting them up, tail of the tape. I mean, in the last 20 years, probably the only person that Barack probably would lose to was Trump. Anybody else that was running, Bush, Romney,
no
Gore,
doubt.
who was he? McCain.
Mm-hmm.
Like Barack beating all of them. But Barack might even beat Bush Sr.
Mm-hmm.
He probably would beat Bob though. Like the only one he probably would be argued is Trump. And that's because Trump speaks to a certain demographic that gets empowered by certain shit.
Yeah, the whole thing, I'm kind of in the middle of it when cause I see it both ways. Like you said, I see where it can be beneficial. I see, but also see how it can be abused and misused and stuff over the years. Because go to TSU, you know what I'm saying, go to historical black colleges, you know what I'm saying, they had scholarships available for white students that were, you know what I'm saying, because it was a historical black college. So if you're white, you can get a scholarship to, come here because we need to fulfill these DEI spots that we have to fulfill, you know what I'm saying, so we can get this money. If anybody know programs, companies, whatever, they get a particular stipend or whatever to fulfill certain spots for a DEI. People, they come check and audit like, okay, did you fill these spots for DEI, da-da-da-da. So certain companies and programs had to fulfill DEIs just to get the check of money that they had to fulfill. So that in itself, I can see where, you know what I'm saying, the abuse can come about. But on the other hand, it'll get us in the door. You know what I'm saying? It'll get a lot of us in the door. And the only thing that I would say about that is that I think that some of that stuff, and I can even point to myself on, like, I wasn't a DEI hire, working for the company. I knew people, you know what I'm saying? I knew somebody that was in the know, in the network, and, they gave me a shot, and then I did my thing. And so I think some of the DEI stuff can make us, kind of be stagnant or very comfortable in our own places and not really kind of
do you
be
feel
more
like
ambitious with that.
and this is a question.
Mm-hmm.
In my observation, granted, and you said you knew somebody, but did that person lose their job? Okay, is that so?
Yeah.
My thing is like when you got the
But
job,
they don't work for the company.
well, but what I'm saying is again, he still got his job.
Yeah.
You might have got it. Somebody could say it's nepotism how you got it. Favor ain't fair.
For sure.
It is what it is.
No doubt.
But when you got it, did you do the work? Because we had conversations not on here. We had personal conversations where you had people who were upset because they felt like,
Definitely.
oh, you black, da da da. But did you not do the work? Did you not do the things you needed to do? Did you not meet the things that you were supposed, the numbers you're supposed to meet?
Yeah.
Did you not do that? Now, only you know this. If you was just bullshitting through and you just, oh, I got a job and everything and I'm good, but from the conversations we had, would you say that you did the work?
I did the work, especially initially when I was having those issues. But then the other thing I was saying, which I would put myself in the category to where, going through the situation, which I'm no different than what anybody else has been doing, with the thing. But it's like, the flexibility, being comfortable, working remote and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You can almost take that stuff for granted to a degree because you've been around this. You see the lay of the land. You see how certain stuff goes. And so what I'm even saying for me, even the situation that's happening, even going through, you look at yourself. But again, I don't think this is I know it's not a deciding factor of what's happened because you get the letter was saying this has nothing to do with performance. Like it was nearly 20 people that happened the same thing.
I mean, it's that's what they're supposed to say.
Right. So
we appreciate your contributions to the company.
Right. And so, you know what I'm saying? It's just it's a wake up call, even for me, but I think DEI kind of rolls into like what you would call nepotism, relationship in your network. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's like, okay, I know John knows Sam, which is the guy. I grew up with John, and so John speaks highly of me. So I get the job because I know John, right? And so that's the lay of the land. Like quite honestly, most people get positions of influence or power or making some pretty good money because of who they know, not necessarily because their resume is so stacked and it's kind of all this. But I think a lot of DEIs has people kind of get that mixed up, or they kind of roll it into your network and your relationships and all this stuff because it may check the DEI box too. You know what I'm saying? Because okay, Derek is a upstanding young man. He got his master's degree, but he knows my son John and You know what I'm saying? And so it can all correlate. So I'm not mad at the whole DEI initiatives kind of going away because I think it is maybe past its time to where at one point I think it was necessary because of things kind of going on, but now I think a lot of stuff has been used and abused to a degree to where I'm not going to be mad if it's gone because this is the way I think. You can disagree. I've seen a lot of people. I got Mike Scott been putting a lot of stuff on social media on a daily basis talking about the new Trump administration and stuff that's going on and putting a lot of stuff out there. And some of the stuff he has a valid point about. But some of the stuff I look at, I'm like, he's trying to audit the IRS. He's trying to take away certain things or to freeze it just to, you know what I'm saying? Let's revisit this, right? Let's try to look at certain things. If we need to take it away, fine. But if not, let's just pause it for a moment and reevaluate, kind of how we look at this. Now, this could be something different 6 months from now. But as far as I think I had someone here who was talking about, he was freezing a lot of federal assistance programs. You know what I mean? But it wasn't all of them. Social Security, I guess you got an article. Maybe I'll read it later. But It's not all of them. Anything that has a direct effect on Americans, those things, federal assistance programs are not going to be froze. But I just think I want to correlate this to Dr. Fegan's, but like how she came in here and interrupted stuff, made people uncomfortable. People lost their jobs. People did this stuff. And so now people want to get rid of her because she did certain things that were uncomfortable and didn't give her enough time to, do what she need to do. Not saying like Trump only been here president again for about another 4, 5, 7, 8 days. You know what I'm saying? So I would give him more time to see exactly his plan and what he's trying to do. Because a lot of the programs, he put a lot of federal employees, they can't be remote anymore. They got to get off work. I know some people text me, they worked here. There was a federal employee, but they just moved to Vegas. And they just got a letter saying that, hey, either you got to come back within 30 days or you got to come turn your stuff in. You know what I mean? So certain stuff like that, I get. But, I think it's a wait and see because a lot of the stuff is, I think, some of the stuff needs to be audited. We know the IRS needs to be audited. I wanted to ask you the question, too. It's kind of off subject, but what you think about him releasing the files of MLK and JFK and all that stuff?
Well, I would say this. They've always been pushing this back, and I've been said it. They got to wait till everybody's dead. And what I mean by that is...
What you mean everybody?
JFK was assassinated in 1963 in Dallas. MLK was assassinated...
68?
Well, I mean, he was killed in the hospital here.
Yeah.
In 1968. So within 5 years, those two. So like... So... We're at 57 years from MLK being assassinated. So, like, if you were 30 when MLK was assassinated, that means you're 87 right now. You know what I'm saying? Now, JFK, it's been a full 60 years. So, like, if you were 30 when JFK was assassinated, now you're 92.
Give or take, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's 63, 2023, you'd be 90.
Yeah.
So 2025, like, you about, you know what I'm saying, 92. Most of those people are dead. Anybody who knows something, like all of those mafia guys, and keep in mind, I've listened to, go look up Michael Francis. Michael Francis was in the 1980s. He was in a Time magazine article where they did, basically they did an article who were the richest mobsters, and he was one of them. And he had gotten over on the government hundreds of millions of dollars, like scamming them out of gasoline, basically. And his dad was a high-ranking member of the mob, and he was a capo in the mob. And he's actually like, he's out there life now. He ain't in witness protection or nothing like that. He actually is a person of the faith. And he, and he said, he got converted when he was in locked up. And that's where he's on now. But when he talks about, that type stuff. But he said, like, no, the people who I was under, he was up under, if you watch that movie, I mean, not the movie, the TV show, Godfather Harlem. Vincent,
that's my show.
Vincent Gigante. Like, he was up under them. Okay. He was like, that was who put him on. He was like, no, they talked about it. He was like, no. Like, he knows where Jimmy Hoffa's body is buried at. Now, he in one of his interviews, he said, all I can say is where he's at is very wet. He said, there's a lot of water where he is. But when he talked about the JFK, he broke it down. He said who all was involved in it. It was the CIA, it was the mafia, and it was and he said, think about this. He said, first of all, and we've talked about this before, where Oswald was at, there's no way he could have shot 3 times from those angles and hit him and hit the other guy too. And then he said, but then as soon as he gets arrested, he gets shot by a guy that's affiliated with the mob. You know what I'm saying? And then when he's in jail, he dies in jail. So like everybody who's involved is dead. So yeah, I mean like he's gonna release that information and we're gonna find out what we already knew. We're going to find out that the CIA, that the mafia was involved with JFK. It may come out because like we talked about Marilyn Monroe. It may come out like, oh, she was assassinated too. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't no way when they did her autopsy, it was like ain't no way a sober person could have taken this many pills that was in her system. You know what I'm saying? Like at some point your body would have shut down when you had taken like the fifth or sixth one, like that quick. You're gonna find out that we already knew. Now, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was set up, and he was killed in the hospital by the head physician.
Now, some of the stuff I've seen some people talk about as far as MLK is involved, like whether you want to call it conspiracy theories or whatever, saying that Trump is putting these files and stuff or releasing these files to corrupt the people's mind more about MLK when they talk about his infidelities, his orgies, his stuff. But then I was like,
shit came out
like we knew this.
Barbershop too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Mom was a hoe. He was a hoe. You
right,
remember right. Like, we knew that in Barbershop too.
That was my point. I was like, I almost said the majority, but the people that knew, like, we already knew Martin had stuff going on.
I take that back. What year did Malcolm X come out the movie? That was 92, right?
92, 91, 92.
That we knew that in Malcolm X.
Yeah, they did. They had a
you remember
wiretap.
That scene when they was wiretapping Malcolm?
Yeah.
And the FBI agent was like, compared to King, this guy's a saint.
Yep.
That was 92.
I forgot about that, yeah.
Like, nigga, that was 30 years ago.
Right.
So we've been on that.
Right. And so, and that was my point with that. Again, at least that narrative, I'm not like saying like, the majority, we knew Martin had women. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, and to his credit, some of those women were probably planted by the CIA and the government to test him to continue to have these type of files about him. But again, you got to take the bait.
Man, shout out to old school Memphis legend, by way of ATL now, Kingpin, Skinny Pimp. Martin had some midnight hoes. If you know, you know.
Yeah. That's real. Like, and so given this, I don't think anything's going to come out in these files that I think is like that we would say is diabolical. You know what I'm saying? That it's like, oh my gosh, really this happened? Like, I think for the most part we knew MLK. Like you said, he had women, he had other people, he had people. But like I said, what I said as well. Some of those women were probably planted by the CIA and the government to, lead him astray and do whatever. But again, he got to take the bait. You know what I mean? So, and given, and I try to put myself in people's shoes sometimes. All the pressure he was under, all the scrutiny, the life, his life being threatened. You know what I'm saying? Left and right, like.
So that excuses him for having the hoes, is what you're saying.
I'm not saying that I excuse him, right?
You understand.
It's just like.
It's okay for you to have the hoes if you're going under the scrutiny.
I was just like, I'm not excusing. I'm just saying, dang, like he got to have some pressure off at some point, right?
I mean, Coretta was bad, though.
Yeah, she was bad. Definitely bad.
I mean, I don't mean bad for them. Like, Coretta would be bad now.
Yeah. She was nice. Super nice.
So, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So,
like, I mean, Coretta was, yeah. I mean, and no disrespect for this. I'm just saying, y'all mom and y'all grandma, she had it going on.
Yeah. Coretta was fine now. Don't get it twisted. She would made the ATL, them type of women like that back, you know what I'm saying, back in the day. Like, Coretta started that. You know what I'm saying? Coretta was pretty, man.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, again, I just feel like if you are really not devoted to the authority that you put over yourself, and people don't understand, like because Because you can love your significant other
That don't mean nothing.
and still go outside.
That don't mean nothing. You talk about a whole nother subject there,
right.
but yeah,
you got to be devoted to something that is higher than yourself.
Gotta be.
Because think about it. How often do people you love your significant other and y'all cuss each other out? Mm-hmm. Y'all hit below the belt. But you love them though. Mm-hmm. But y'all will hit each other below the belt. But you don't do that to somebody you love. No, sometimes when you get pushed up in the corner, you do or say some things that's uncharacteristic. To the same token, it's not always about you trying to hurt that person. Mm-hmm. So, I think in the moment, you're traveling all the time, you're not at home, you're away from your family, you out there, like you said, you stressed out, you in there, you know what I'm saying? Then you know he was a smoker too, he had to have him a good cigarette. Ain't nothing better, the best time to have a cigarette is after you done got some action. But, I mean, again, like you see someone like, man, Rosa Parks was fine. Like, I'm just saying, he was always around some nice looking women.
You saying he bust down Rosa?
Nah, man, that man got down Rosa. Like, stop it.
He said he bust down Rosa.
But I'm just saying, like, and I'm not excusing it.
Yeah, no doubt.
But what I'm saying is that, like, when you're not around, when you're dealing with that, and he didn't drink. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't smoking weed or nothing like that. So, what's your outlet? Like we niggas couldn't go in the bowling alley. You know what I'm saying? Where like we had to go in the back of the bowl or something, or we had a special night. Yeah. So, what's your release? You know what I'm saying? You might not see your spouse for a month. What's your release? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so now
it's tough, man.
Some people you can stay busy if you're always working. Then you're not doing nothing. But like when you had your downtime, and so either you don't have no downtime, or when you do have downtime, you find a way to. And that's all I'm saying. So now again, but to your point, it ain't new information that we knew he was outside. Because we heard that in Malcolm X in 1992.
Yeah, we did.
We heard that in Barbershop. It was either Barbershop or Barbershop.
It was Barbershop. First one. It was the first one.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because it was kind of at the end when the credits was rolling and Cedric Entertainer was, talking about it. Mm-hmm. But prior to that, and I believe it was 88, when Ralph Abernathy released his autobiography, he said it in his autobiography. Coretta King, when she released her autobiography. So it was confirmed from his wife and his best friend. Yeah. They both said it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it wasn't a secret. I think that we deified him to the point, and by deify I mean like we put him on a God level. Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying?
But two things can be true though.
Ignore the bullshit because he's such a good human being.
Very well could have been.
And you can still be a hoe.
Yeah. At the same time, that's what I'm saying. Two things can be true. Just because you did all these historical, innovative stuff, don't mean that you didn't lust after the hoes.
Man, look, most of the
quite frankly,
you already know one of my favorite spots I used to go to was the Shake Jump, the strip club. Mm-hmm. Most of the women that I've met in the strip club, in the Shake Jump, I've never met. Now I'm not saying they don't exist. I never met one that had a bad heart. Mm-hmm. Generally, they were better than some of the women that, like, you work at the bank and you just a nasty piece of work. No. You are, in a word, diabolical. This stripper over here, like, this is just what she got to do to get by. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of the greatest people I met, like, but that's what you do for that. Like, I'm doing this for a season because this is what I got to do to make happen what I need to make happen. Man, you're an amazing one. If you wasn't getting nigga for niggas every day, like, you could be the one. But this motherfucker that work at the bank, like, you a whole.
Hold up, man. You said naked for niggas. That's
right.
I ain't never heard that.
I'm saying, if you wasn't getting naked for niggas, like, you could be the one. That's if you wasn't sliding down this greasy ass pole, I was like, now don't get me wrong. I'm gonna help you get through college. You know what I'm saying? These ones is helping you pay your tuition. But you know what I'm saying? Like, again, just because somebody's over here don't mean that they're not a good person. Yeah. And vice versa. You could be in a quote unquote good situation. Like we talked about earlier, you could be a whole Facebook pastor in Memphis, but you still sucking dildos on camera. You You know what I'm saying? And you was condemning people, calling people sweet and zesty and, whatever.
Yeah.
But then here you are being real treacherous.
Right. Yeah. Now, this last one here is, we've talked about this a couple years ago when they first filed for divorce. Tia Mowry and Cory Hardict, I think is how you say his name. They separated in 2022. Their divorce got finalized in 2023.
Mm-hmm.
And she went out, I don't know what show it was, but it was a popular show, and she just said, I graduated. She didn't call it a divorce. She said, I graduated. Mm-hmm. And so, and we talk, we was like...
And everybody like, girl, get your happiness, girl.
Ooh, everybody was getting like, oh, yeah, girl. Nice, let's get yours. Get yours, girl.
And then he played the Tyler Perry movie, and now all of a sudden, he is kind of handsome,
So now... I think they're now officially back together. She spent the block.
I'm mad at him.
And went back record. Now I'm gonna give her credit for one piece. She said, "Forget all the criticism. I know all that I said and all the narrative that I put out there about me graduating in this new season of life, and I just feel so free and happy. I'm just doing me. All the buzzwords that women do." And she said, okay, I did say that, but look, I need my man back. The grass is not greener on the other side that I thought it was. Basically, that's what she's saying. Even whether she come out and say it or not, her being back with him saying that I was a fool. I was wrong for saying that I graduated in this new season of life that I thought was just going to be so amazing, but at the end of the day, I'm miserable. I have 2 kids and they're trying to fight sides of mommy and daddy. I don't like that. So now I have to do the adult thing and evaluate my situation and be like, we're better together than apart. I was wrong. The grass is not greener on the other side. I want to be with you. So I will salute her for that. But then also, this should be a lesson to women and men as well. You know what I'm saying? That may be in the same situation to think that they're going to graduate from their current situation and then, be happier or more fulfilled without that person, especially when kids are involved. So I think, I give her credit on one hand, but then on the other hand, I'm just like, the way she was coming out and saying it was just like so cheesy to where I didn't believe her in the first place when she was talking about the whole graduation stuff.
So I was looking up because I didn't want to misquote. All I'm gonna say is,
what you say?
I can't believe y'all niggas out here buying these hoes. Need to imitate God and start lying to these hoes, tossing these hoes, never ever flossing these hoes. You know how it go. 2 things I ain't never seen before: a UFO and a hoe that won't go. And the chorus of the song is "Toss that bitch." Toss
what?
That bitch. You don't remember this song back then when it was the Rap Hustlers?
Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah,
way back.
Like when somebody decides that they're walking away from you. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that you're doing everything right. I'm like, but she never indicated there was any abuse or anything like that going on. You just didn't like the situation. It wasn't what you wanted to be in at that time. Mm-hmm. And then it was just like Aisha Curry some years ago when she was talking about like, oh, don't nobody be in my inbox. It's like, sweetheart, ain't nothing out here.
I feel left out.
You don't want what's in the inbox.
You don't. No, you don't.
It ain't nothing but hard dick and I'm not gonna call you tomorrow in the inbox. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
So like again, you choose to walk away because you felt like he had no motion. You're the one with the career and you're doing this, that, and the third. And he was just one good roll away. He felt like, okay, you're in, and keep in mind, look at that nigga IMDb page. I'm sorry. She ain't never been in no movie as good as American Sniper.
Mm-hmm.
Cory Hardict was in there with Bradley Cooper.
I didn't think about that.
You see what I'm saying? Like he won. Like that was an Oscar nominated movie.
Yeah.
You ain't never been in nothing that good.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of the Rotten Tomatoes review of the movie the Tyler Perry movie that he was in with Megan Good.
It was straight to me.
But like what is it? Marriage
It
in
was
the Black or something like that?
Something like that. Something
Like
that.
or Divorce in the Black, Marriage in the Black or something
Divorce.
like
It was something. I think divorce
Like-
was the thing. Yeah.
that. The consensus was that he was the breakout star of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
That was the consensus. The consensus was he is the standout person. It wasn't Megan Good.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the dude that played as The Rock's dad in Young Rock.
Mm-hmm.
That was like her new boo. It wasn't boy Richard Lawson who used to be married, who was Beyonce stepdaddy. It wasn't him. It was Cory Hardict. This nigga was amazing in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like we did not know he had this talent, this depth of this, and so now all of a sudden
Killed
now he didn't parlay that. Oh, he got the roles coming in now,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
and you still living off sister. You still living off your appearance in that Mace video when y'all was in that Harlem World video.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
Now
that's,
she was in the game though. Remember that she was in the game. She had a nice little
was
role.
that her or her sister? I can't remember.
Nah, that was her.
It was one of them.
That was her. It was definitely her because her other twin sisters don't do roles like that.
She wasn't. No, Tasha Mack was the baddest one.
Yeah, Tasha Mack was the
I'm
the
not
guy,
even
but
gonna
she,
lie.
you know, she did a role there.
Jason's wife, Kelly Pitts, was more.
Pitts.
I ain't gonna lie. Like Kelly
Yeah.
Pitts was. Hey,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
hey.
It's in Pitts.
I'm just
It's in
saying.
Pitts. Yeah,
I'm just saying.
yeah. But she had that
Melanie
role,
was
though.
like probably like. It's a lot of people I'm choosing before Melanie. I'm choosing Drew Sidora before Melanie. Tasha Mack, Kelly Pitts. You go down the line. It's a lot. Janae. It's a lot of people I'm choosing before Melanie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying.
She had a rose though. I give her that after sister at least. So she had some of that.
The
but-
finest she's been in was that Mace video. Go look up the Mace video. I believe it's the Harlem World video. Because a lot of them women ain't never looked as good as they looked in that video.
Tia Moore was in the Harlem World video.
It was a Mace video. It was her. It was the girl that was
Okay.
Craig's girlfriend on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
What's her name? Paula J. Parker. That's her name.
Mm-hmm.
But she was in. I'm like, oh snap! That's Craig's girlfriend from Friday. Like they always bad
Yeah.
in that video. You know what I'm saying? Like I think it was the Harlem World video, but
It said Tia and it was in the Mace. I really like it.
okay, yeah, that's it.
I really.
And they were wearing like they had like a red, white, and blue outfit on. They was looking delicious in that video.
Yeah, it was Mace. Mace featuring Kelly Price.
Right. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
again, that's the best you can look since Sister.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
that
now
was
Cory
popping.
Hardict is the hot shit now.
Oh
Now,
yeah.
You need your man back.
Oh yeah. Got to get your man back now.
I got out here and dating, and all these niggas want to do is have sex. Like, first of all, you pushing 50. Niggas is like, if you don't roll them old ass draws now, you talking about get to know somebody,
Yeah.
and either you dating a young nigga that's happy to say he done bag somebody off sister, or you dating an old nigga who already got what he got. Why we playing? You know what this is.
So like I said, I give her credit because a lot of women nowadays, probably especially out there in Hollywood, would just bite that bullet and keep on living their best life. You know what I'm saying? I still mess with him on the low
She
just
had
to
no
see,
best
like,
life.
you know what I'm saying? But yeah, clearly her best life. She didn't graduate like she said she did. She clearly didn't graduate. You know what I'm saying?
No, she saw that like, oh, now he's single now. Oh, he a whole sex symbol now.
A lot of women want them.
Right, yeah.
A lot of women trying to get on him.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of women trying to get on them now. So let this be a lesson, man, for everybody, women and men out here. That the grass ain't always
You wouldn't
green.
like him when he outside.
Oh, yeah. Because he
No, I mean,
definitely.
because women say that goofy shit, like, and the reality of it is that, and women look at other women like this. If a woman is entertaining, like, actually having sex with 3 dudes at the same time, like, women look at other women like she's a hoe. Because women understand that in order for you to go there with a guy, you have to have some type of emotional. It's not just physical or sexual. Like you got to have some type of connection with that guy. For us, we just got to be attracted to you. You ain't even got to be looking your best. We just got to be attracted to you. So now, if you sleeping with 3 women at the same time, like you that nigga, guess what? Other women gonna look at you like, oh, he's a ladies' man. Oh, he's a charmer. He's a player. That's the way women would look at you. We gonna be like, oh, JB, that nigga, JB got the hoes. But now, if a woman is dealing with 3 dudes, other women are going to look at her like she out there. You're not gonna take her seriously. It's cold, but it's fair. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And so, and then the reality of it, and that's some people, most women are not even going to deal with 2 dudes at the same time. If it's somebody who got your time and attention, that's the only person that you're playing with, pursuing, or letting pursue you or whatever, that's just what it is. And so now, a woman being outside, in most cases, you're going to have 1 dude you seriously dealing with, and maybe a couple of more you stringing along, but them dudes ain't even sniffing your drawers.
Yeah.
But now if you can be out there and you can get outside, they're not gonna like it with you outside. You know why? Because you might have a couple of chicks that you're actually entertaining, but the other 5 of them, oh, you just pulling up, or they coming through. Oh, you off work? I cooked, or you know what I'm saying. I just went to the liquor store. I bought some. I got you some Moscato. I got you some Stella Rosa. They pulling up.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? They ain't gonna like it when you outside.
Yeah. Now, they ain't going to like it at all, man. And for anyone that's still chiming in with us right now, I didn't say it before, but go ahead and like this video right now. Like it right now if you're still watching it. Get that algorithm up. You know what I'm saying? We still keep on saying we got viewers. We're up to a few hundred in the views in this live. So like the video right now, y'all. Go ahead and like that video.
Like it, share it.
Yes, sir. Go ahead and do that. Anything else, Rad, before we shut down here, man?
Man, we done talked about Memphis Paris sucking dick. We done talked about the board stuff. Dr. Fegans, we still need you on. We've talked about this whack-ass Super Bowl, which neither one of us have a dog in the fight.
Not at all.
So I need.
But Kendrick is performing with
at the Super
SZA.
Bowl, which is gonna be.
That's gonna be dope. It's gonna be
That's
dope.
gonna be dope.
Yeah, it's gonna be dope. I like that.
I gotta hit Velly up and put my wing order in.
Yeah, I gotta get some more sauce from Velly too. I gotta get some more of that Velly sauce. Yeah.
Hit my boy Yank up. Prime time barbecue. And he put the prime time in because you know when Prime was with the Niners, he's a Niners fan. Bang bang Niner gang. But yeah.
Speaking of Niner fan, I ran into I got sale today at Kroger.
Okay.
Had about a 30-minute conversation out there in the parking lot. Went in. Actually, I told you it was podcast worthy. We talked about a lot. So shout out to our guy Sale. Yeah. You know, shout out to our guy Sale on that.
To the Millions and Star.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But yeah, man, like I said, we done covered a lot. And so I guess this time next week. Well, no, ain't no new games or nothing going on because, like I said, the Super Bowl. That's not.
Got a couple weeks off.
9th.
Football wise, at least.
So I'm pretty sure some more stuff is gonna happen within the next 7 days.
Oh, definitely. There's gonna be a lot of stuff popping off, y'all. So y'all go ahead and like this video right now. If you want to replay, go ahead and like this and do all that, y'all. But until next time, continue with that executive mindset.
And most definitely keep it presidential.
Salute.
Arrivederci. Bow.
Yeah. All righty.
Yeah, I'm wearing my Niners gear now, man. I have to get my
You got the Niners gear going.
Yeah.